never. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. We're starting a new season. I've been away for a while and rehearsing for a show that opened a couple weeks ago. Of all things, Shakespeare in Love at the Maverick Theater in Fullerton. If you live there, and we got great reviews, love to have you come see it. But for now, got myself, Shelia, and Henry here to perform impromptu works of the impromptu monologues of the works of Shakespeare for you guys, chosen randomly by the Wheel of Shakespeare. Since it's been a while, so maybe that's why we didn't get as many people come back, and a couple people had conflicts, but just the three of us, I think we can still get a good round going. We'll probably do a couple monologues apiece since there's only three of us. It'll be myself, then Shelia, then Henry will be the order that was randomly determined in advance. Get the wheel on the screen so I can spin for myself. Okay. So the first monologue here, done by me, will be Mark Lincoln, All Is Lost. I think I've ever seen this one, but this is definitely an underrated monologue. I've been hoping to do this someday. Got the wrong scene. Okay. All is lost. This foul Egyptian hath betrayed me. My fleet hath yielded to the foe, and yonder they cast their caps up and carouse together like friends long lost. Triple-turned whore, 'tis thou hast sold me to this novice. My heart makes only wars on thee. Bid them all fly! When I am revenged upon my charm, I have done all. Bid them all fly! Begone! O sun, I uprise, shall I see no more? Fortune and Antony part here. Even here do we shake hands. All come to this. The hearts that spanieled me at heels, to whom I gave their wishes, do to Scandi, melt their sweets on blossoming Caesar. And this pine is barked, that overtopped them all. Betrayed I am! Oh, this false soul of Egypt, this grave charm whose eye becked forth my wars and called them home, whose bosom was my crownet, my chief end, like a right gypsy hath it fast and loose beguiled me to the very heart of loss. I forgot to create a banner for that. I should label it. Okay, so Sheila, it's your turn. I'll remember to create the banner for you to let everyone know who you are. Okay, so your monologue is going to be, excuse me. Okay, so Sheila is going to do.
Okay, sit tight.
Simon, let me look back. Act 4, Scene 1. I believe it begins with "Let me look back."
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let me look back upon thee, O thou wall that girdest in those wolves. Dive in the earth and fence not Athens. Matrons turn incontinent, obedience fail, and children, slaves and fools pluck the grave wrinkled senate from the bench and minister in their steads to general filths, convert to the instant green virginity. Do it in your parents' eyes. Bankrupt, hold fast. Rather than render back, out with your knives and cut your trusters' throats. Bound servants steal, large-handed robbers your grave masters are, and pill by law. Maid to thy master's bed, thy mistress is of the brothel. Sons of 16 pluck the lined crutch from the old limping sire, with it beat out his brains. Piety and fear, religion to the gods, peace, justice, truth, domestic awe, night rest and neighborhood, instruction, manners, mysteries and trades, degrees, observances, customs and laws, decline to your confounding contraries and let confusion live. Plagues incident to men, you were potent and infectious fevers heap on Athens ripe for stroke. Thou cold sciatica, cripple our senators, that their limbs may halt as lamely as their manners. Lust and liberty creep in the minds and marrows of our youth. Against the stream of virtue they may strive and drown themselves in riot. Itches, blains, so all the Athenian bosoms, and their crop be general leprosy. Breathe infect breath at their society, as their friendship may merely poison. Nothing I'll bear from thee but nakedness, thou detestable town. Take thou that too with multiple bands. Timon will to the woods, where he shall find the unkindest beast more kinder than mankind. The Athenians both within and out that wall. Grant, as Timon grows, his hate may grow to the whole race of mankind, high and low. Amen.
Okay, great. So we both did a couple monologues that don't come up as often. We haven't seen this as much, so we got some good variety. Let's see what we get for Henry for his turn. And with only 3 of us, again, we're going to go, and then before we do spin for scenes, we'll each do a second monologue. So I'm going to go again after Henry does. It's Henry. Capulet. When too soon married. That's Act 1, Scene 2. Too soon marred. So whenever you're ready.
Okay. And too soon marred are those so early made. The earth has swallowed all my hopes but she. She is the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part, and she agree within her scope of choice lies my consent and fair according voice. This night I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I have invited many a guest, such as I love, and you among the store one more most welcome makes my number more. At my poor house look to behold this night earth treading stars that make dark heaven light. Such comfort do as do lusty young men feel when well apparelled April on the heel of limping winter treads. Even such delight among fresh female buds shall you this night inherit at my house. Hear all see, and like her most, whose merit most shall be, which on more view of many mine being one, may stand in number, though in reckoning none. Come, go with me.
Okay, good job, Henry. Okay, so next round of monologues. My turn again. My second monologue is going to be Richmond closing victory speech at the end of the play. Inter their bodies as becomes their births. Proclaim a pardon to the soldiers fled that in submission will return to us. And then, as we obtain the sacrament, we will unite the white rose and the red. Smile heaven upon this fair conjunction that long have frowned upon their enmity. What traitor hears me and says not amen? England hath long been mad and scarred herself. The brother blindly shed the brother's blood. The father rashly slaughtered his own son. The son, compelled, been butchered to the sire. All this divided York and Lancaster, divided in their dire division. Oh, now let Richmond and Elizabeth, the true succeeders of each royal house, by God's fair ordinance conjoin together, and let their heirs, God, if thy will be so, enrich the time to come with smooth-faced peace, with smiling plenty and fair prosperous days. Abate the edge of traitors, gracious Lord, that would reduce these bloody days again, and make poor England weep in streams of blood. Let them not live to taste this land's increase, that would with treason wound this land's fair land's peace. Now civil wounds are stopped, peace lives again, that she may long live here. God say amen. Okay. Celia, your turn for another.
Very good. These are all fresh to me. This is nice.
Yeah. Gaius Marcius, but soon to be this is the very first scene before he becomes Coriolanus. Begins, what's the matter? It's with confronting the protesters at the beginning. What's the matter, you dissentious rogues? Is how that Coriolanus Act 1, Scene 1.
Almost there. Is that the first line? I'm going to start with the lines I see here. Oh, here we go. What is the matter, you dissentious rogues, that rubbing the poor rich of your opinion makes yourself scabs? He that will give good words to thee will flatter beneath abhorring. What would you have, you curs, that like nor peace nor war? The one affrights you, the other makes you proud. He that trusts to you where he should find you lions finds you hares, where foxes geese. You are no surer, no, than is the coal of fire upon the ice, or hailstone in the sun. Your virtue is to make him worthy whose offense subdues him, and curse that justice did it. Who deserves greatness deserves your hate, and your affections are a sick man's appetite, who desires most that which would increase his evil. He that depends upon your favor swims with fins of lead, and hews down oaks with rushes. Hang ye. Trust ye, with every minute you do change a mind, and call him noble that was now your hate, him vile that was your garland. What's the matter, that in these several places of the city you cry against the noble senate, who under the gods keep you in awe, which else would feed on one another? What's their seeking?
Hey, thank you, Shelia. Okay, so last monologue for the second round, last one before we spin for scenes, will be Henry, and he's going to do. Mr. Stickney, he's in Arthur's bosom. Henry
Henry
V,
V.
Act 2, Scene 3.
And what's the 9?
Oh, that I believe estimated not about 9 lines in.
All right. What was the scene? And I've got Henry V. What was the scene and acting scene again? Do you remember?
I think it was Act 2, Scene 3.
Oh yes, okay, got it. No, sure, he's not in hell. He's in Arthur's bosom, if ever man went to Arthur's bosom, and made a finer end, and went away, and it had been any Christian child, aparted even just between 12 and 1, even at the turning of the tide. For after I saw him fumble with the sheets, and play with flowers, and smile upon his fingers' ends, I knew there was but one way. For his nose was as sharp as a pen, and a babbled of green fields. How now, Sir John, quoth I, what man be of good cheer? So I cried out, God, 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 3 or 4 times. Now I, to comfort him, bid him should not think of God. I hoped there was no need to trouble himself with any such thoughts yet. So bade me lay more clothes on his feet. I put my hand into the bed and felt them, and they were as cold as any stone. Then I felt to his knees, and they were as cold as any stone. And so upward, and all was as cold as any stone.
Okay, thank you, everybody, for a good job on monologues today. Now let's see what scenes the bard is going to give us. Okay, we'll have the two bishops, and the fifth. That's one, scene one, Canterbury and Eli. All's well that ends well, Bertram and Diana. Let's do it. We got three of us. Let's do three scenes so we can each do two roles in three scenes. The measure for measure. Act one, scene two, Claudio and Lucio. So, okay, with only three of us, I spun to get six different six roles for. So it limits us. You can't. You'll have to put yourself in different scenes, but let's get two choices each. Let's see, Canterbury and Eli. Let's see. I'll take for my first choice. I'll take Bertram in the "All's Well That Ends Well" scene. Oops. Sheila, what would you like for your first choice?
Okay, I was looking for Bertram and Claudia, and I didn't see them, so I'm not sure the scene there. I will take Diana.
Okay, so you and I will do that scene. Actually, the measure for measure is Claudio and Lucio, not Bert. Or actually, that's
Oh, right, but I was saying I didn't see them in 4-2.
Okay,
No,
Henry.
never mind, 1-2. Forget I said that.
We got the Henry V scene, and we got the measure for measure scene, Claudio and Lucio.
Don't know. Measure Claudio.
Okay, Henry will take Claudio. Okay, my second choice. I'll take Canterbury in the Henry V scene. So Sheila, you get so now last choice. You get between being Eli to my Canterbury, or being Lucio to Henry's Claudio.
I'll be Lucio.
Okay. So that means So then the first scene is going to be So first we're going to have myself and Henry being the two bishops and Henry V. Then we'll have myself and Sheila being Bertram and Diana and All's Well That Ends Well, Act 4, Scene 2. Then we'll have Henry and Sheila being Claudio and Lucio in Measure for Measure, Act 1, Scene 2. Okay, give me a second to find it, and let's take Sheila out. So myself and Henry for this one. Okay. You ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
My lord, I'll tell you that the self-bill is urged, which in the 11th year of the last king's reign was liked and had indeed against us passed, but scrambling and unquiet time had put it out of farther question.
But how, my lord, shall we resist it now?
Must be thought on. If it pass against us, we lose the better half of our possession, for our temporal lands, which men devout by testament have given to the church, would they stripped from us, being valued thus as much as would maintain to the king's honor. Full 15 earls and 1,500 knights, 6,200 good squires, and to relief of lasers in weak age of indignant faith, souls past corporal toil, 100 almshouses right well supplied, and to the coffers of the kings besides, 1,000 pounds by the year. Thus runs the bill.
This would drink deep.
Would drink the cup and all.
But what prevention?
The king is full of grace and fair regard.
And a true lover of the Holy Church.
The courses of his youth promised it not. The breath no sooner left his father's body, but that his wildness mortified in him seemed to die too. Yea, at that very moment, consideration like an angel came and whipped the offending Adam out of him, leaving his body as a paradise to envelop and contain celestial spirits. Never was such a sudden scholar made. Never came reformation under flood with such a heady current, scouring faults, nor never hydra-headed willfulness so soon did lose his seat all at once as in this king.
We are blessed in the change.
Hear him but reason and divinity, and all admiring with an inward wish, you desire the king were made a prelate. Hear him debate of commonwealth affairs, you would say it hath been all in all his study. List his discourse of war, and you shall hear a fearful battle rendered you in music. Turn him to any cause of policy, the Gordian knot of it he will unloose. Familiar as his garter, that when he speaks the air at chartered libertine is still, and the mute wonder lurketh in men's ears, to steal his sweet and honeyed sentences, so the art and practice part of life must be the mistress to his theoric, which is a wonder how his grace should glean it. Since his addiction was to coarse vein, his companies unfettered, rude and shallow, his hours filled up with riots, banquets, sports, and never noted in him so any study, any retirement, any sequestration from open haunts and popularity.
The strawberry grows underneath the nettle, and wholesome berries thrive and ripen best, neighboured by fruit of baser quality. And so the prince obscured his contemplation under the veil of wildness, which no doubt grew like a summer grass, fastest by night, unseen, yet crescitive in its faculty.
Must be so. For miracles are ceased, and therefore we must needs admit the means how things are perfected.
But, my good lord, how now for mitigation of this bill urged by the Commons? Doth his Majesty incline to it or no?
He seems indifferent, or rather swaying more on our part from cherishing the exhibitors against us. For I have made an offer to his Majesty upon our spiritual convocation in regard of causes now in hand, which I have opened to his grace at large, as touching France, to give a greater sum than ever at one time the clergy yet did to his predecessors part withal.
How did this offer seem received, my lord?
With good acceptance of his Majesty, save that there was not time enough to hear, as I perceived his grace would fain have done, the severals and unhidden passages of his true titles to some certain dukedoms, and generally to the crown and seat of France, derived from Edward, his great-grandfather.
What was the impediment that broke this off?
The French ambassador upon that instant craved audience, and the hour, I think, has come to give him hearing. Is it 4 o'clock?
It is.
Then go we in to know his embassy, which I could with a ready guess declare before the Frenchmen speak a word of it.
I'll wait upon you, and I long to hear it.
Okay, and I should have marked that one. That's one with two characters, but one totally dominates. So I'll let Henry spin for another if he wants. So he can do another monologue since he was just kind of the placeholder in that scene that was mostly Canterbury's. So we'll do the 2 remaining scenes, and we'll let Henry do another monologue because he had such a small role in that one. Okay, so myself and Shelia are Bertram and Diana now. All's well. Let's see. Okay, looks like we go from the top. You ready?
Yes.
They told me that your name was Fontebelle.
No, my good lord, Diana.
titled goddess, and worth it with addition. But, fair soul, in your fine frame hath love no quality? If quick fire of youth light not in your mind, you are no maiden, but a monument. When you are dead, you should be such a one as you are now, for you are cold and stern, and now you should be as your mother was when your sweet self was got.
She then was honest.
So should you be.
No, my mother did but duty, such, my lord, as you owe to your wife.
No more of that. I prithee do not strive against my vows. I was compelled to her, but I love thee, by love's own sweet constraint, and will forever do thee all rights of service.
Aye, so you serve us till we serve you. But when you have our roses, you barely leave our thorns to prick ourselves and mock us with our bareness.
How have I sworn?
'Tis not the many oaths that make the truth, but the plain single vow that is vowed true. What is not holy that we swear not by, but take the highest to witness? Then pray you tell me, if I should swear by God's great attributes I loved you dearly, would you believe my oaths when I did love you ill? This has no holding, to swear by him whom I protest to love, that I will work against him. Therefore your oaths are words and poor conditions, but unsealed, at least in my opinion.
Change it, change it. Be not so wholly cruel. Love is holy, and my integrity ne'er knew the crafts that you do charge men with. Stand no more off, but give thyself unto my sick desires, who then recover. Say thou art mine, and ever my love as it begins shall so persevere.
I see that men make ropes in such a scar that we'll forsake ourselves. Give me the ring.
I'll lend it thee, my dear, but have no power to give it from me.
Will you not, my lord?
It is an honor longing to our house, bequeathed down from many ancestors, which were the greatest obloquy of the world in me to lose.
Mine honors such a ring. My chastity's the jewel of our house, bequeathed down from many ancestors, which were the greatest obloquy in the world in me to lose. Thus your own proper wisdom brings in the champion honor on my part against your vain assault.
Here, take my ring, my house, mine honor, yea, my life be thine, and I'll be bid by thee.
When midnight comes, knock at my chamber window. I'll order take my mother shall not hear. Now will I charge you in the band of truth. When you have conquered my yet maiden bed, remain there but an hour, nor speak to me. My reasons are most strong, and you shall know them when back again this ring shall be delivered. And on your finger in the night I'll put another ring, that what in time proceeds may token to the future our past deeds. And you till then, fail not, you have won a wife of me, though there my hope be done.
A heaven on earth I have won by wooing thee.
For which live long to thank both heaven and me. You may so in the end. My mother told me just how he would woo, as if she sat in his heart. She says all men have the like oaths. He had sworn to marry me when his wife's dead. Therefore I'll lie with him when I am buried. Since Frenchmen are so braid, marry that will, I live and die a maid. In this disguise I think no sin to cousin him that would unjustly win.
Okay, great, thanks. So now we have, let's see, Lucio and Claudio, Sheila and Henry will do that. That's Act 1, Scene 2 of Measure for Measure. So we'll do that scene between the two of you, and then we'll spin for another monologue for Henry.
We need. There's a couple of lines from the provost, which Maybe you could do more.
Okay, you need. Okay, let me find it. I was focusing on it. Let's see. So where does this start?
About 2/3 of the way down,
Okay, 2/3.
where Claudio comes in with the provost and Juliet and
So it's just at the very beginning where I'll read the provost lines. Pompey's in
Perhaps if Claudio starts, fellow, why dost thou show me the world? Maybe
Okay,
that's a good place.
yeah.
Let's see. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and start.
Fellow, why dost thou show me thus to the world? Bear me to prison where I am committed.
I do it not in evil disposition, but from Lord Angelo by special charge.
Thus can the demigod authority make us pay down for our offence by weight the words of heaven. On whom it will, on whom it will not, so. Yet still 'tis just.
Why, how now, Claudio? Whence comes this restraint?
From too much liberty, my Lucio, liberty. As surfeit is the father of much fast, so every scope by the immoderate use turns to restraint. Our natures do pursue like rats that raven down their proper bane, a thirsty evil, and when we drink, we die.
If could speak so wisely under an arrest, I would send for certain of my creditors. And yet, to say the truth, I had as lief have the foppery of freedom as the morality of imprisonment. What's thy offense, Claudio?
What but to speak of would offend again?
What? Is it murder?
No.
Lechery.
Call it so.
Away, sir, you must go.
One word, good friend. Oh, I'm sorry. Go
One
ahead.
word,
Sorry.
good friend. One word, good friend. Lucio, a word with you.
100 if they'll do you any good. Is lechery so looked after?
Thus stands it with me. Upon a true contract I got possession of Julieta's bed. You know the lady, she is fast my wife, save that we do the denunciation lack of outward order. This we came not to only for propagation of a dower remaining in the coffer of her friends, from whom we thought it meet to hide our love till time had made them for us. But it chances the stealth of our most mutual entertainment with character too gross is writ on Juliet.
With child, perhaps.
Unhappily, even so. And the new deputy now for the Duke, whether it be the fault and glimpse of newness, or whether that the body public be a horse whereon the governor doth ride, who, newly in the seat, that it may know he can command, lets it straight feel the spur. Whether the tyranny be in his place, or in his immense that fills it up, I stagger in. But this new governor awakes me all the enrolled penancies, which have, like unscoured armour, hung by the wall so long that 19 zodiacs have gone round, and none of them been worn. And, for a name, now puts the drowsy and neglected act freshly on me. 'Tis surely for a name.
I warrant it is. And thy head stands so tickle on thy shoulders that a milkmaid, if she be in love, may sigh it off. Send after the Duke and appeal to him.
I have done so, but he's not to be found. I prithee, Lucio, do me this kind service. This day my sister should the cloister enter, and there receive her approbation. Acquaint her with the danger of my state, implore her in my voice that she make friends to the strict deputy. Bid herself assay him. I have great hope in that, for in her youth there is a prone and speechless dialect, such as move men. Beside, she hath prosperous art, when she will play with reason and discourse, and well she can persuade.
Oh, I pray she may, as well for the encouragement of the like, which else would stand under grievous imposition as for the enjoying of thy life, who I would be sorry should be thus foolishly lost at a game of tic-tac. I'll talk to her.
I thank you, good friend Lucio.
Within 2 hours.
Come, officer, away.
Okay, great. So again, because Henry had such a small role in the first of the two scenes, we'll let him do another monologue before we call it a day. So the last performance of the day will be Henry performing. What's the wheel going to give him? Boy, Henry the Fifth. Which is
What's that? Henry V end of...
The Boy in Henry V, the end of Act 3, Scene 2, after Llewellyn tells him up to the breach, you dogs, and the boy stands behind to reflect on what a bunch of nincompoops he's stuck with.
A lot of Henry V today.
Yeah, Will's been liking that one today. Okay.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready.
As young as I am, I have observed these three swashes. I am a boy to them, all three. But all they three, though they would serve me, could not be man to me. For indeed, three such antics do not amount to a man. For Bardolph, he is white, livered, and redder-faced, by the means whereof faces it out, but fights not. For Pistol, he hath a killing tongue and a quiet sword, by the means whereof breaks words and keeps whole weapons. For Nym, he hath heard that men of few words are the best men, and therefore he scorns to say his prayers, lest he should be thought a coward. But his few bad words are matched with his few good deeds, for I never broke any man's head but his own, and that was against a post when he was drunk. They will steal anything and call it purchase. Bardolph stole a lute case, bore it 12 leagues, and sold it for 3 halfpence. Nym and Bardolph are sworn brothers in filching, and in Calais they stole a fire shovel. I knew by that piece of service the men would carry coals. They would have me as a familiar with men's pockets as their gloves or their handkerchiefs, which makes much against my manhood, if I should take from another's pockets to put into mine, for it is plain pocketing up of wrongs. I must leave them, and seek some better service. Their villainy goes against my weak stomach, and therefore I must cast it up.
Okay, thank you. So great job, both of you. I'm glad we got to get together again. Thank you, everyone, for your performances. Thank you to anyone that was watching us on YouTube. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope we're bi-weekly now, so we'll see you again same time 2 weeks from today for the Wheel of Shakespeare challenge. We'll see you guys then. Bye now.